Yo, what's up, y'all? What's going on? Let's see. Lolita, what's up? She said you did not disappoint. Respect. I appreciate that. What's going on, Lolita? What's up, Sync? And Marcus? What's up? A little bit later than usual. But I ain't I said I ain't gonna skip out tonight. I said I'm gonna jump on here at least once tonight. And we could talk a little bit, chop it up a little bit. And maybe we'll stay on until about 10, 10, 15. I haven't done one of them long ones in a while. Just ain't had time to. We used to do them 2 or 3 hour lives. We ain't done one of those in a minute. Maybe like an hour tops, but it's been a while since we done them 2 hours. I just ain't had time to. But what's up, man? Yeah, just a few fights I want to go back and talk about here. I want to just discuss what's going on, what we got coming up this weekend. Am I giving picks yet? I don't know, because we got some close competitive fights this weekend. Only got two? Only two WMMA fights coming up this weekend. That's more than this past weekend, right? This past weekend we only had one. And yeah, let's talk about that a little bit first. Teresa Bleda and Gabriela Fernandez. I did my breakdown for it, but I want to just talk about Teresa as a fighter and, as a young fighter, and why she sounds like she's on the right path. At the same time, why you shouldn't count somebody out like Teresa yet. It was a rough debut, of course, for a fighter like Teresa, but there's still a lot of room for growth. She's one of the she's one of the youngest fighters in the UFC right now. She's one of the youngest fighters, and having age on your side like that and youth on your side, that's one thing, right? But this next thing, number two, which probably should be the number one on why you can't count her out, is because she's a fighter that realizes she can realize and she comes to that realization that she's not a well-rounded fighter yet. That was one of the things that she mentioned in her post-fight, that she's still working and she knows where she has to improve at, and she admitted that. I mean, we all know from the outside looking in, it's one thing for us to always say, oh yeah, I know this fighter is this type of fighter, that type of fighter, they're they're one-dimensional, they don't have this skill set, they don't have that, right? We can say that, but not all the times will a fighter really recognize it themselves. They'll just keep on doing what they do and think that, okay, they're fine. But somebody like Teresa Bleda is already calling attention to some of the things that I've said over here, so that should be some proof that, whenever I get on here, or, other people get online or whatever, to a certain extent, they're not just bashing a fighter. I mean, we know who's bashing a fighter and we know who's actually critiquing a fighter, right? A lot of people in comment sections, they're usually bashing the fighter. But, when people jump on with the channel, they're usually critiquing a fighter. And that's what it is, with her. Like, some of the things we said over here about Teresa, okay, this is what she is. She's a wrestler, grappler, but she needs to do this. We're not, just saying, okay, this is all they're going to be. No, like, this is what they are, but they have to do this and that to get better. And she realizes that, like, again, that's the thing she came out and said in her post fight. It was short, sweet. She said, hey, I'm a wrestler, grappler. I know my striking needs improvement, and that's what we're working on. So yeah, that's like the number one thing you want to hear from a fighter. And when you hear that, that's one of the major points to why you can't count a fighter out like that, when they're that young. She realizes what she needs to be doing. It's one thing to just say, oh, I felt off tonight. Oh, rough weight cut. I was sick. You know what I mean? They weren't making like the same old excuses. She came forward and said, I'm not that, she basically said, I'm not that good of a striker yet. Okay. Not in those exact words, but that's how she put it. She still needs that type of work. And again, we'll see it time and time again in fights, but it's on her to actually be calling attention to it and working on that. And, she has in the past, I remember like a few months back during the camp with Manon and Chikagan when Manon was training for Chikagan, like Teresa was in that camp training for a while. I don't know how long for, but it might have been better for her to stay in that camp for however long, or just to stay on her team and train with her. I know that they're both flyweights, but they're kind of far off. Manon's closer to number one now, and Teresa's just starting out. So to me, I don't think it would really hurt for them to train together for a longer period of time. You know what I mean? So that would be better. Ivan, what's up, man? I said, what's up? Zaman, what's up? He said, at least Teresa has height and reach, but she's stiff. Yeah, and not every fighter is gonna have like a speedy type of striking ability. Like there's ways around it. There's definitely ways around it. Like with how she could get better and improve with her striking and utilizing her height, right? She has that long reach, that long, kick and reach, strike and reach. And yeah, she's a little stiff, but maybe that's just because of the way she's been trained to approach fights, mostly as a wrestler and a grappler. She needs to start being a little bit more, elusive, learning how to be more fluid on her feet and being comfortable. Like, I think that's something that she needs more and more of. She was raised in wrestling and grappling. Maybe it would be good to take a back seat and approach more fights, more training sessions where she's actually changing up her stance into more of a striking stance so she can get more comfortable. Start training in more uncomfortable environments. Like I use Casey O'Neill for an example. She went out to Tiger Muay Thai and started improving in her striking. Now she looks more comfortable throwing head kicks and storming forward with combinations. Yeah, her defense isn't the best, but her offense is really making up for it. She's not afraid to let him go. So I think it's good that when a fighter realizes, okay, this isn't, this, when a fighter can realize that, oh, like we're not our best in this department, that means that, hey, they're opening up and giving you the truth to say, okay, we can make room for change. Yeah, I like her attitude on it. I definitely like her attitude on it. Like I said, it's one thing to say, oh, a person's young, they can get better. But if they're young and humble, or more so humble, they can get better as a fighter. Again, like when you see a fighter like Angela Hill, who's finally grasping it, she's finally got a grasp of like how important the ground is for her, but it's kind of a little too late because she's already like 38, 39 now, right? It's kind of harder for a fighter like that to get better. But at least being humble and young, you can get better. Like there was a point where Erin Blanchfield, early in her career, back when she was in Invicta, always into the wrestling and grappling element, had a couple close fights like Tracy Cortez, Kay Hansen. Then all of a sudden you start seeing her striking improve. The striking got better. And, she was throwing more head kicks, being fluid in Invicta. Then going into the UFC, it's gotten better. So luckily for Erin, she'd had that type of work before getting signed, whereas Teresa came in more as just a wrestler and a grappler. So now it's kind of, it's going to be a little bit more, I won't say a rush job, but she's going to have to pick up a little bit faster right now because you're already in the UFC now. And there won't be any more gimmies like this. Gabriela Fernandez, I hate to say it, it was kind of a gimme because if she can get her down and put her on her back, she was going to get this victory. And it was kind of a gimme for Gabriela. Like I said, if she can land shots on the chin of Teresa, she could stop her. Both had their opportunities, but one just had more of a grounded foundation in wrestling and was able to get takedowns and neutralize the footwork and power and everything, right? So it favored Teresa. So Teresa's got those disciplines that could get her further. But yeah, the striking is the element that she really needs. But yeah, being a bit more fluid and not as stiff, that's going to be a big part of it. You know, she's going to have to be a little bit more loose out there. Like when she'll throw a head kick or something, like it seems like it takes a while for her to reset. You know, how she just can't like jump right back into stance. Like she'll throw a kick and it seems like it takes a while for her to get back to her stance. So Gabriella's hitting her with some hard calf kicks. You know what I mean? So yeah, just some little things like that. She just has to start getting more loose with it. You know, loose, working with more boxing coaches and like kickboxing coaches that can make her change her stance through training sessions. And that's all she really has to do, I think. Focus on that type of training. Well, you need to incorporate both, but she's going to need a lot of that type of work to get more comfortable throwing kicks and, you know, jabs and right hands and bringing them back quick enough so she don't be getting hit. Because and you know, yeah, you got to factor in cardio too. You know, yeah, she needs to improve her gas tank. You know, it did look better. Ivan, yeah, she needs to improve her gas tank. It did look better, and she admitted that. Like the first round was good, second round was good, but then she was like the third round was like, you know, it was almost like she was about done. And when she got caught, and the one thing I say, another thing that I called too about fighters, I'm glad she picked up on, was that okay, she knew that she had to take a couple more shots. She's like, I probably got to take a couple more shots just to see how interesting it get and how she can get in there and get a takedown, right? So she took a few shots, but she knew that we can't stay on this cage long enough, but we might have to sacrifice getting hit to get a takedown, and it worked for her. But moving forward, got to build that striking IQ so you don't take shots like that. You know, you got to move your head more. Like she moved her head a little bit in the first couple rounds, I believe. Like she ducked a few shots, but that's another thing just, you know, about why she needs to build her striking IQ is like so you can understand what your opponent is about to set up. Not just what you're about to throw, but what your opponent is setting up here. You know, if she had a higher IQ in it, you know, she could have predicted a lot of like, she could probably check some of the leg kicks. She probably could have taken away the power hand of Gabriella early. Same with going back to like Natalia Silva. You know what I mean? Like could have been able to neutralize speed, use her timing, a long jab to shut that down, jab into the chest, things like that. Instead of just going for headshots. You know, that stuff's important. Running Ring said, good evening. Zama said, in my opinion, Fernandez is quite good as a striker with right matchups. She can get some W's. She could, let me think. She could get some W's. What do y'all think? Who do you think she could get a W against though right now with her striking ability? Because her upper body movement, she has power, but something about like her lateral movement is not there. Like even her ability to get out and keep range well. Like first thing she'll do is back to the cage. Like she doesn't even really have that takedown defense to, you know, kind of like create distance and maybe like score a hit on the outside, then move back. Like, who do you think would be the right matchup for? Because I think JJ Aldrich could outstrike her. Honestly, at this point, I think JJ Aldrich outstrike her. Yeah, Mandy Bohm, that would probably be the one. I haven't said Mandy Bohm. Yeah, he said Mandy Bohm. Snake said who, Bleda? No, Zaman was saying with the right matchups, she could beat she could get some W's. She just don't have the footwork though, man. Like she don't have the footwork like Natalia Silva and them. Like she don't. Zama said running Rini, that's not happening. Because she said like, Verna's going to destroy Suarez. Yeah, that ain't happening. That is not happening. You think she would spank Aldridge around? I don't know. You have to have a combination of things to beat Aldridge though. Like Aldridge don't have like a kill switch, but I don't think she would beat Aldridge like that, man. Okay, you said JJ. All okay. Yeah, Antonina, I give you that. Antonina Lipski. I don't know about Lipski. I give you Antonina and Boehm, but Aldridge and Lipski, I don't think Gabriella would beat them. I think I'm gonna give Aldridge credit. Her IQ is still a little bit better, and if she doesn't have to worry about, and Aldridge can take you down now. Aldridge's been working on her wrestling, so if Aldridge starts to get outstruck, she might take Gabriella down. So I don't think Gabriella's pure striking is going to win her the fight because again, she wasn't she wasn't keeping range like Lipski was against Aldridge. Lipski, when she fought Aldridge, she was measuring her right hand, keeping that distance, and had a good takedown defense plan against her. So between those two, I think they're too technical for Gabriella. Like Antonina again, if that was ever happen, which I don't think it will, because I don't think Antonina's going to make a comeback anytime soon. No. And boom, yeah. Maybe Luana Carolina. You throw that out there. Maybe. But again, Luana Carolina's footwork might be too much trouble. He said she would spank Aldridge. Nah, I don't think she would spank Aldridge. Aldridge would probably take her down, keep her down. Sink said Bone without grappler. Dang. Bone would out grapple. Bone would out grapple Gabriella. Yeah, she does have that element. She does have that element. That's what she got going. Colts, I'd like to see Pacheco versus Cyborg at some point. Yeah, Pacheco looked good at 145. The last fight, she looked a little shaky against Julia Budd, but this one, Amber Leibrock, I was glad she was able to put her name on the map for a little bit. It's been a minute since we've seen her. But I knew, man, like going into that fight, Pacheco was going to go in there and do work. Pacheco was still a beast there. If 145 suits her now, yeah. Let me see. Zama said Fernandez had okay takedown defense. Teresa's good. It's okay. It's okay because even then, Jasmine, that big girl was taking her down too, putting her on her back, man. I think Manny would probably take her down. Gary said Manny and Antonina's only girls Fernandez can comfortably beat, in my opinion. Yeah, I'd probably say though the only two that she has a chance against, I don't think Lipsky and Aldridge would fall to it. Aldridge couldn't take down Lipsky. No, she couldn't. Because Lipsky's takedown defense and her strategy were better since the last couple fights. Like JoJo took Lipsky down. Did Molly McCann take Lipsky down? Montana took Lipsky down. But she's been working with Amanda Nunes, working out at American Top Team, working with Myra Winner Silva, Kayla Harrison, and them. Her takedown defense had to improve at this point. But I think Aldridge even has an IQ higher than Fernandez to take her down. Because remember, Lipsky is not Fernandez. Fernandez is just starting. We need to see some. Lipsky has to have improved now. She's got more UFC experience, right? Singh said, you know what? They should do Juju versus Gabriella. Ooh, if they do that and Gabriella loses, Gabriella might get cut. You said Jazzy and Teresa are prolific grapplers. They are sticky. Aldridge is not. You don't even have to be. That's the proof. Like, you don't even have to be. JJ Aldridge is not, but she's improved enough in her wrestling, I believe, enough to take this fighter down. Because you remember, Teresa and Jazzy, it's not just in being prolific. Jasmine is big, too, and she's strong. Teresa, she's relentless. Like, she knows that's all she has. So they're going to constantly push. But I believe Aldridge has enough technique to get her down. Lipsky would get dominated by any good grappler. Yeah, but I think she'll get by any good grappler. Yeah, she would. Because I think Gatto is going to win that fight. But taking on Fernandez, I think Fernandez wins that fight. No, I think Lipsky wins that fight still. You can't have no takedown defense in MMA. Yeah, that's a prerequisite, man. Like, that's the number one thing. That's why Joanna made, such a long career, out of being just a striker and being able to fight 5-round fights because she just had great takedown defense. Great takedown defense, enough to commit to her striking. All right. So yeah, I think Teresa, she can make it, but even if she didn't right now, she'd still be fine because again, she's humble and she has youth on her side. So having those two things, she's gonna go back to the drawing board and work as hard as she can. All right. She knows that she can work as hard as she can to try to get up to the level of these other fighters. And if she doesn't right now, oh well, she's still young. She could get cut and come back and learn, So I don't think she's in as much trouble as people think that she is. People actually think that she is like in trouble. But no, like she's already got a high level of grappling. Like she just really needs to improve on her gas tank. And really once she starts working on her boxing, that's what's going to make her cardio get better. And that just shows you, like, combine those two things that she's missing. Remember, like how she said she felt in the third round? Okay, she said she's about gone in the third round. Plus, her striking isn't up to par where it needs to be. If she improves in her striking, that's going to force her to improve in her cardio. Fighters like Chikagan, how you think they can go on for days? They can move on their legs for days. Cardio's improved because of the way they improve in their striking. Like Araujo, I know it's a striker, but it's more of like an athletic type of style where she just depends more on the power and that natural speed. But when it comes down to the deep waters, she kind of gasses. But fighters like Grasso, Chikagan, Valentina, even JoJo, they're built for like 3-round fights or 5-round fights, right? So if Teresa takes her time to start working on her striking, that's going to force her. That's going to force her to get better because then she's going to be doing rounds where she's constantly moving and having to strike, right? That's why she gasses because again, she said my striking is still where I need to improve. It's still not the best. That takes a lot out of you if you don't really do it a lot. Like you moving around, worrying about getting hit, throwing your own punches, trying to throw hard punches, hard kicks. So when she throw a few of them things out, like in the first round, like she was doing, that takes out a lot of you. So, that's really what it is. Like the lack of both of those, the cardio and the boxing and the striking, if she improves in the striking, it's going to force her to get better in her cardio. That's how I see it. And once you see her improving the striking, then you'll see her gas tank get better. Gary said Fernandez also stiff and predictable striking. Yeah, her right hands were unpredictable. I mean, that's why Jasmine was able to take her down. Like a lot of those shots you can see. Fernandez would give Cachoeira a war. Oh, that would be a good fight. I still see Fernandez might get put down, but that would be a good fight. That's about what. Ooh, if that happened, shoot, yeah, really might wind up getting cut, boy. Better give her an easier fight though. I mean, that would be a fight though, because neither one of them be moving on the feet. They're gonna be going in. Oh, hold on, Mar said, "What's up, Mar?" Mar said, "Respectfully, these ladies have to start getting more well-rounded. I respect anybody in there, but there is a 5 to 7 regional scene MMA men fighters who are at least average in their weakest area." No, that's true. That's true. I talk about that all the time, man. Like how important being well-rounded is for these ladies. But the thing is, like, compare how they are to at least 3 years ago. A lot of these ladies are coming in improved. Like the ones I call that would be top level right now, Tyler, Aaron, Manon, they're where they're at now. Tyler fought for the belt now because they all came in more well-rounded. Some of the girls that are losing now that are getting cut, they're not coming in well-rounded. But yeah, they need to start, like as a whole, a lot of these girls, I think the ones that you see wanting to go for it, they are getting there. They are getting to that point to be more well-rounded, and it's forcing them to. Because yeah, even the regional scenes now, you're not just meeting like a striker or a boxer just jumping into MMA. They're coming in, off of years in Muay Thai. Then they transition to some BJJ behind the scenes. They're coming in from the grappling circuits, and they've already got a background and everything, so that's why they kind of force other women to be coming in more well-rounded. Zama said Gabby isn't fluid at combining striking and takedown defense, but against a striker, she'll do good. Yeah, she'll probably do good against a striker. I give you that, but that's why I think she won't do good against like a JJ or Arian Lipsky. But like if she can get a fighter to fight her fight, she'll do good. That's how she was doing in LFA, right? Mars said, I see the development all of WMMA. They'll slowly get more technical and girls will get more athletic. Yeah, definitely, man. They like I said, between like what I used to see in 2019, like from like 2019 to that's why, Mom, I'm gonna tell you this, like it's important. I love Tatiana, and I'm gonna talk about Tatiana Suarez in this. It's important, and I'm hoping that during her time off, she was improving, because from 2019, Tatiana Suarez, her style, it would dominate a lot of girls. But now, like what you see in 2020, 2022, 2023, those girls, takedown defense is getting better. Wrestling is getting better. The clinch fighting is getting better. Look at Macy Barber. Like Macy Barber came in as a clubber, right? But now she's developing this clinch style, and her kickboxing is getting a little bit sharper. I know a lot of people don't think she beat Andrea Lee, but you can still see some improvements in what Macy Barber was doing. So yeah, the development is slowly getting there. Like you'll see some standouts that they'll get there, because that well-rounded part, like you said, yes, it's a key to stepping out of the that unranked realm, man. I would say for Bleda, how about a fight against Agapova next? Yeah, that's not bad. Agapova, I know, has a knee injury right now. I'm not sure how far along she is with that. I know she's a bouncer. She's a tattoo artist right now. So we'll see, man. Teresa Bleda. Well, who wins? Let me ask Zaman. Who do you got between Juju and Gabriela Fernandez? How about that fight? I'm gonna just ask Zaman. What do you think, Zaman? Gabriela Fernandez versus Juju. Marcia, exactly. I was typing something similar before you said that. Exactly. We have been noticing the same things. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I just noticed like throughout the years, like with so much going on, man, it's like you'll see the change. Like when Ronda was dominant, that's all it was. Like her judo was enough because nobody can handle it. But I told people, like, I picked Holly Holm to beat Ronda back then because I was like, this girl's strong, athletic, and her kickboxing is something Ronda's never felt before or even seen before. So the minute that type of element was thrown in against a fighter who was used to doing one thing, throws the whole game off. It throws her whole game off. And then you moving through the years, like a lot of fighters that you used to see at the top, they start falling. Like Valentina, well-rounded, but a lot of the girls she fought weren't as well-rounded. But the minute Grasso came around, well-rounded versus well-rounded, it was a different story. 55-45 for Juju. Okay. Juju got a good chin, too. Juju, when she be taking bombs, boy. Juju be taking bombs. That girl be coming at you. When I said the reason I said respectfully is because I'm not hating. It might sound harsh, but I want all the top 15 to be like Natalia Blanchfield. Just like some of the men's divisions getting closer and closer. Yeah, the men's, I think a lot of the men, some of them, they have been really forced to get well-rounded because they have to have some type of striking to get respect, Like just watching the cards last night and you seeing all of these different fighters, on the cards, and like every one of them to certain levels, they had to like learn how to throw a good jab or like throw a good calf kick. They just can't depend on like the same style of takedowns or wanting to force a grappling match anymore because sometimes guys want to stand, sometimes guys want to roll. Oh yeah. Definitely know you're not hating on it because no, it don't sound harsh. It don't, man, because like the more these women just stay in one realm, they're just gonna get dominated and beat. You know what I mean? Like they're just gonna get put out because they're not trying to step out of their comfort zone, you know. But it's something, yeah, I say over here. It may sound harsh to like some people, but yeah, like I'm like, no, man, like even looking at Teresa Blade, I'm glad she calling it because some people say, oh man, like why you putting this fighter down? Like, no, I'm not. I mean, like her hands weren't that good in there. Teresa Blade is a good wrestler and grappler, but I'm glad she called attention to it because yeah, like her striking is her weak point. Shep isn't that well rounded. Can't call someone well rounded with rudimental top game and zero get up game. Oh boy, he says she ain't well rounded. No, Shevchenko is well rounded, man. Like, not you don't have to be perfect in every department. You don't have to be perfect in every single department of the game. You just have to have a good, above average. How do I put this? In certain disciplines, like you ain't got to be an A across the board. That's what I'm saying. Runnery says she's impressed with Dern. She's made her a fan. Yeah, Dern is one that's I give some credit for. She's understanding now how important it is. I hope it comes together for her because she actually looks like she wants to get better as a fighter. But yeah, what do y'all think, man? Let's talk about this Andrea Lee, almost Angela Hill, Andrea Lee and Natalia Silva fight, man. This is another good example. Like I know Mar, I know you've seen it. Like I talk about it over here a lot about Andrea Lee, and I think Andrea Lee has a lot of good tools, man. But to me, I just think she don't use them enough. Like the best way I always put it with Andrea Lee is like she got a lot of tools, but she just doesn't like piece them together as like an MMA fighter, man. Like she'll use certain things, but she won't put it like together. It won't come together like a fighter like it has in Grasso or like in Valentina. And I'm saying that based off of what's been going on. She went on a 3-fight losing streak at a point. Now she's on a 2-fight losing streak. Yeah, she beat Calvillo and Antonina. But when it came down to it against some of these other girls, like it's like hard for her to it's like hard for her to like put the right tool together when it's calling for it. That's why I think a Natalia Silva fight, it could be her comeback fight, it still hold her ground, but it's also a scary matchup because Natalia Silva has a lot going for her right now. She's got 3 strong elements right now that she's really good at that can push her past a lot of fighters in here. Not just the striking, but she's also got a good grappling game. But it's that takedown defense too. When she put all 3 of them things together on how she uses them, and whenever the moment's called for it, Natalia Silva takes control of a fight. Especially like I always bring up now, I'm watching some of her old fights. Like I was watching that one fight on the Zone. Natalia Silva, when she fought for that vacant belt, it was like a jungle fight. I was enjoying how she was striking, but then she just went into this whole other mode and just took her opponent down, like with a judo toss. And then there was another moment where she's using her striking again. She got another takedown and she submitted her opponent. So it was like, this girl knows how to go in for the kill. She knows how to soften her opponents up. So that's what makes Natalia Silva different than some of these other fighters. Like she can put all these different things together. Natalia says she's over dependent on her speed and athleticism. I don't think so. See, I don't think so. I think she just uses that element for excitement. But when the fight slows down, that's what I was just saying. When the fight slows down, she can actually grapple too. And she's strong on the ground. You know, she's not all just speed and athleticism. She can go to the ground with you and she can submit you too. You know, so I think that the speed, that's just an exciting element, I think. That's when she just likes to take full advantage. And it's, you can't say she's over dependent on speed. She's using her IQ, because why try to get into a grueling wrestling match with like a big girl like Jasmine Jasudavicius? You see what happened when Miranda did that. Miranda trying to take her down. What'd she do? She put the weight on her and put the weight on her. You know, she put the weight on her, took her down, and kept her down and wore her out. So, you know, it's wise for Silva to rely on speed in fights like that. But this will be a fight where we see her actually step away from that. You know what I mean? Like you probably see her step away from that and not, like you said, be over dependent. Like she was, like I said, she's just doing that against these bigger girls because that's what you should do. You said she lacks in defense. I won't say she lacks in defense. I think she's good at keeping range and using her feet as defense. But I think she has the IQ to keep it tight, though. I mean, we'll see as it goes on the type of defense you're looking for. But I think the type of defense I'm seeing is how she measures range, gets out, and uses her feet. That's a big part of her defense. Mar said that shows you the WMMA game is developing. We're actually starting to see who has the best technique in each area at that time. People would have said Valentina had better BJJ than Aaron, and now we know. Right. Yeah, I asked that community post question a while ago, and it kind of ruffled people's feathers. I actually put that question up, Mar. I said, whose BJJ is better? Valentina's? Would I say Valentina or Aaron's? Or no. I said Tyler Santos or Aaron. And when it comes down to like technique, I would say Aaron. Just pure BJJ, I would say Aaron. When it comes to Tyler Santos, I think hers is a good mixture of like grappling for MMA, you know, combine elements to make it work for like the trouble she gave Valentina. But yeah, man, like you start to look at different things like that, like seeing who stands out more in one technique. What's a low leadership? Robot 6, you're talking about someone with great footwork, lacks defense. Silva improved from the Rodriguez fight. Yeah, major. Natalia has good defense. Her footwork is top notch and very technical. Good movement, excellent takedown defense and clinch defense. And those are forms of defense from striking right there. You know, footwork is a big part of it. Footwork is a big part of avoiding punches. It's not always just blocking. Head movement is still a big one I'm on, but if your feet can get you out of danger, not just relying on speed, that's a good key to defense. And it doesn't all have to always be speed. Just a nice turn, subtle angles can get you out of harm's way. And clinching, you know, those are forms of defense. Lily said, can you imagine her as your girlfriend? I'd rather watch Ross. Who are you talking about? Oh, y'all talking about Clarissa. Oh. Zama says she's not ready for Queen Grasso. What can I say? Dang. I personally think Silva's lateral movement would give Grasso issues. On Natalia's defense is footwork exclusively, lacks real boxing fundamentals. I think Silva defeats Grasso. She says Silva strikes with her feet. He said he thinks Silva. Lolita said Silva defeats Grasso. Ooh. Let me think about that one. Let me see what she looks like in this Andrea Lee fight, though. And I believe that she has what it takes to beat, Andrea Lee with the three things that she can put together. Now, Andrea Lee's got a good jab. She's coming in here as the taller fighter too. She's coming in this fight at what, 5? How tall is Andrea Lee? 5'7". They listed her like 5'7". Yeah. She's 5'7". Got a long jab. I think she's almost her jab's like a 70-inch reach. 69.5. Yeah, close enough. Yeah, she's got a 70-inch reach, and she's tall. So this is what Natalya needs to push forward and help her and her fans. I'm a fan, to prove that she is going to be this next threat to the division. She's got to go in and face this different look that has a lot of tools. She's got judo, kickboxing. Andrea Lee has a good jab when she uses it, but it's just that factor of her, not putting things together that makes it hard to pick her in this type of fight. Sink said, how is Natalya's cardio? I think her cardio is pretty good. I think her cardio is pretty good for the fighters that she's been fighting. She's fought how many 3-round fights? Well, no, how many times has she gone 3 rounds? She's gone 3 rounds once. And first round knockout, third round knockout. So she's gone 3 rounds almost 2 times. And I think she looks pretty decent now. I think she looks pretty good. But now we'll see how it is against a fighter that probably will hit you. Andrea Lee, like I said, when she starts the first round out, she'll throw some body kicks. She will kind of feint, throw some little left hooks and straight jabs. So the first round will kind of tell us, once a fighter like Natalya Silva, you combine not only throwing punches and, doing a lot of movement, but getting hit, and she's still fresh in the second and third round, that'll kind of tell us how her cardio is. Because, getting hit, that's also going to factor in how your body can react and how you can still keep your breathing under control and, keep a steady rhythm going. Henderson Grunger, what's up? He says, Suarez and Dern said Lemos beats Weili easy. Weili's overrated and not improving, and you know it. Dang. He said Suarez and Dern said Lemos beat. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I did a video talking about that. He said Weili's overrated, improving, and you know it. I know it. I don't know anything for a fact. I mean, I wouldn't even I don't base my picks off of fighters, what they say, because not all fighters are right. I mean, I'm watching the Tough House right now, and you see Conor McGregor, man, his team is losing right now. So Suarez is usually pretty good at her picks, but are they really, really technically 100% right? Not all the time, right? So I wouldn't say Weili's overrated and not improving. Nah. There's still a 50-50 fight. And just so you know, Henderson, I already told people that I knew Lemos was going to be a fighter that challenges Weili one day. I'm like one of the only ones that really believe Lemos is going to get to this point. And I know just how good she is and where she can be very dangerous for Weili in. That's just a heads up for you, just so you know. I already know what type of fighter. Without hearing what Suarez and Dern has said, I already know what Lemos is capable of. All right. Hello, Louis says Silva defeats Lee. Okay, you got Silva so far. It's going to be a good fight, though. This is what we've been wanting to see. This is a fight I've been wanting to see her in. It's going to be very entertaining. She's finally fighting a striker that has a higher IQ than past 3 fighters. That has other elements that's going to test her. Let's see if Andrea Lee can take her down and keep her down. Let's see if Andrea Lee can get a top position on her. Let's see how good Natalya Silva's scramble game is here. And yeah, let's see how good her cardio is when it gets to the second and third round, dealing with a moving, hitting striker, striker that's going to possibly do a little bit of everything. All right. Yeah, before we talk Grasso, though, before we talk about Natalia Silva beating Grasso or anything like that, this is where I want to see it go. This is the fight that's holding interest in me right now. We got to see this fight first because I think she can do it, beat Andrea Lee, but we need to see it. Obviously, Alexa has excellent footwork too. She cuts the ring to neutralize foot speed. Since Grasso isn't super fast on her feet, if it stays punching range, Alexa has a faster trigger. Robot Chick said, "Comedy talking to Zaman. Of course, good footwork is a sign of good defense." Yeah, I just don't see how he thinks Pena striking is underrated, throwing windmills and charging is slick. Underrated? Ooh, Pena striking isn't underrated. It's basic. And basic's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's very basic, and there'll come a point where you can just figure it out. You know what I mean? Like it's very basic. Like there's things she can do to make it better, but a big part of it is knowing when to let them shots go. And that's the one reason why Pena lost that fight, is because that number one thing she ain't been working in there, that footwork. Oh, you see Dakota Chiva's last fight in PFL? Yeah, I saw that. The submission win, right? Yeah, she added slick BJJ with a good takedown defense and world-class stand-up. That's the best prospect in women's MMA, in my opinion. Hey, she's got a good balance of superstar power. She's got the eye on her, and she's building up some well-rounded skills. Like she's coming in as a hardcore striker, and she's a finisher. But yeah, she added that element of submission. I was impressed, because I would think I was calling maybe like another finish on the feet. But yeah, Dakota Chiva, that's one of them prospects you got to look for. When she cleans out 125 at PFL, I kind of want to see her go to Invicta or LFA and snatch up another belt before she goes to the UFC, though. Yeah, that's ideal for me. Let me see, how old is Dakota Chiva anyway now? Is she like 22? You look it up real quick. Let me see, 24. Yeah, she's 24. Yeah, I think she can make one more stop to another organization before she goes to UFC. Lodi said, you talking about my girl? Oh, Lamos. Innocent said, Zong is a linear brawler, no thought to striking, just looping. He said, no jab, bad kicks, and mediocre. Dang. How'd she get the belt, though, man? She got all of that. Like, how'd she get the belt 2 times? She got all of that, man. Henderson said she bad fighter. Henderson said she a bad fighter, though, man. I don't know, Zama. He said a lot of Whaley hate, though, man. Do you know anything about the flyweight division? Why don't you talk about the flyweight division? I'll say the Whaley talk for y'all some other time. I mean, if y'all ever want to talk about Whaley, let's talk about it on another show, man. Like, let's talk about the fight. I want to hear y'all talk about these fights. Don't y'all know anything about Natalia Silva and Andrea Lee? You think Aaron can get cut like her? Wait, Lolita said, do you think Aaron can get cut like Dern did? Oh, you mean like ripped? You mean like muscular, Lolita? I mean, it depends. Like, I don't really see her body type as like that. Like, anything is possible. I mean, with the right nutrition, right nutritionist, right carb intake, same way like Macy Barber started kind of ripping herself up. The way she was kind of getting ripped up. I think that she could, but to me, I don't really think that she has a need for it. And that's what I like about Aaron. Aaron's she's got that like just everyday body, but when it comes down to the physical strength, it just comes out of nowhere. Like she's just tough like that. Oh yeah, Barbara Ebos. We talk about that a little bit too, Colt, and we talk about some of these flyweight fights coming up. Just kind of jumping around with them. Mars says somebody said Whaley didn't improve. That's Cat. Whaley out wrestled Carla. She took down Rose. That's what I'm saying. Mar, you can have it, man. Like some of these people, they just be going in. They hate Whaley. So Mar, I be going rounds with these people. So if you want to break it down to them, you can. I mean, I think you know more than a lot of people though. So because if you say Whaley doesn't improve, I mean, if you think Whaley hasn't improved, I had to kind of question your knowledge on MMA, but Mar seems to have some good facts. So I think I'll let Mar handle that, man. Like he just broke it down in one paragraph right there. So Yellow Leader says just one of those strong girls. Yeah, and I don't think she really needs muscle. You know what I mean? Like I think her strength combined with her IQ and her competitiveness makes her a dangerous fighter. So to me, I don't really think she needs to like add on muscle. See, I think Dern needed to because Dern needed to kind of change her body up. Because remember, Dern, she missed weight a lot. Remember, Lolita, man, Dern missed weight a lot. So it was important for Mackenzie Dern to get herself into some type of physical shape. Like Aaron doesn't have trouble cutting weight. So Aaron's body doesn't really need to be on any certain type of diet or change because it hasn't really affected her. It hasn't really affected her. Robot Chicken said it's the same person. Whoa, really? What Robot Chicken? If it is, you know what to do. I mean, if it is Robot, you know what to do. I mean, when I say that Robot, you know what I'm talking about. You know what to do, Robot. Sink said we know why Dern is picking Lamos. But who do y'all got though? Like early look at Natalia Silva and Andrea Lee. Who do y'all got in that pick? Enough. Cut out that Whaley talk. We ain't talking about Whaley fight ain't having for another 2 months, and we gonna go in on that. We're gonna talk about that. But Andrea Lee and Natalia Silva, like an early pick. Who y'all got? Okay. Colton said, Colton said, wait. Sink said Natalia. Colton said Silva. Richard said Andrea Lee. Okay. Robot Chicken said if Rose would have fought like a champ, not a coward, you wouldn't have cried about Whaley beating Carla. Zaman said, yeah, Dern's pick is irrelevant. She always picks Brazilians. Runner Reed said, of course, you want Andrea Lee. Natalia, Zaman's got Natalia. Yeah. I think y'all know I'm picking Natalia right now. I want a good test for her though. Believe me, I want her to see different things. Hold on. I want to see her do different things, I want to see her have to face some adversity where we can see a different element, like different questions y'all have. Like I want to see if her cardio, I want to see her cardio pushed. I want to see her have to make adjustments with defense to make Zaman happy. I want to see those elements. I want to see her have to adjust to like a couple of jabs and head kicks and getting out of the way. But I want the proof in the footwork again. Like I want to see that footwork take away a lot of the offense. You remember Macy Barber's footwork? Remember Macy Barber, her footwork took away a lot of Angela Lee's kicks. And that's a good example of defense right there. I know Robot Chicken, he remembers that. Whenever Andrea Lee was throwing them head kicks, Macy Barber was making her miss because of her footwork. So I think that's an element I want to see. I want to see that footwork, good use again. That's a part of her defense and her takedown defense. Definitely gonna be a good fight though. This week coming up, we got. What do y'all think about this fight, Jillian Robertson and Tabitha Ricci though? Tabitha Ricci, Jillian Robertson. This is Tabitha Ricci's. How many fights has she had now? With Jillian. This is Jillian's second fight. I know that. Hold on. Lolita said, I want to see Natalia getting the inside with combinations, finish with a head kick. Angelique's head is on the line a lot too, man. You know, like, I think she got a good jab, but like her head will stay on the line a lot. So she will have to look out for those head kicks. Angelique been keeping it tight lately. She's got a good left hook. So we'll see. We'll see who the mid-range favors when they get on the inside. Hold on. Just pull it. I had to. There you go. Okay. It said a comment was held for review. I had to click on it till it come through. Ricci is the favorite, but I think Robertson can get this done. Yeah, let's see, man. Like, Robertson actually looks good too, man. Like at 115, her last fight, like physically, she looked good. What do you think as far as? What do you think? What elements is Robertson going to have to use in this type of fight? Like, I think Ricci, to me, still hasn't really been tested against like a higher level of fighters where you see her have to, really, really like change it. Like her game plan on getting on the inside to get fighters down. She's taking down fighters like Oliveira, and I believe she took down Poliana Viana a few times, right? But when you're dealing with like a fellow grappler like Jillian Robertson, man, like I think she's gonna be excited about this fight, man, because she knows like if Ricci tries to take her down, she's gonna be ready for whatever's to come. So you got two jiu-jitsu practitioners here, two high-level ones. Well, Jillian is definitely high level when it comes to MMA grappling, but when it comes down to a situation like this, sometimes it starts to turn into like they cancel each other out and it becomes like a striking match. You know what I mean? Like the last couple of fights we've seen like that, whenever like Usman and Colby Covington fought their first fight, it turned into more of a brawl and striking match. Brawl at times, but for the most part, a striking match. Mackenzie Dern and Verna, theirs turned into like a striking match, So I'm wondering if like Ricci and Robertson turn theirs into like a striking match. So obviously, I think Ricci's a better striker, probably. I don't see Robertson out wrestling, out grappling her. Yeah, I think Ricci might be a better striker. That's one that's hard to call because like even when Ricci was coming into the game, I said that was like one of the things that she really needed before she got signed to the UFC. Like I already thought she had a pretty good ground game, of course, but I thought Ricci's like striking level was still kind of low at the time, and I still haven't seen it be like that effective. I think she's pretty strong too. She has that low center of gravity. She's physically strong. So I think, that could be an element that could be hard on Jillian. And I think she's expecting Jillian to be her best. They're looking for those submissions. I'm hoping that we see a little something different with Jillian striking. I'm hoping that she's connected more in this type of fight. So really, when it comes down to it, they both. Obviously, I know isn't super high on Ricci, but I think she beats her. It's not the fact I'm not that high. Yeah, I'm not that. I'm not super high on her on the UFC level, but I still think that she was signed too soon, because I was watching her for a while, like 2 or 3 years ago. And I think that, she got she just signed like quick, and it didn't do her any favors fighting, on a short notice against Manon, so that's what kind of makes it hard for me to see her getting the victory in this one. Well, Ivan, how do you see her beating Jillian Robertson though? Yeah, I'm definitely not super high on her. I'm definitely not. Like, I think she has some good elements, and I just need to see her. Yeah, I'm not really holding that fight against her. I'm not really holding the Manon fight against her. I think it was just dangerous for her to take that fight because I feel like it would take something out of you because it was such a brutal beating. That and like I said, just being prematurely signed to me whenever I think she had room for improvement because she got signed when she was like what 5-0. Yeah, she got signed when she was like 5-0. And even like LFA commentators at the time, they were kind of like, "Oh yeah, this girl gonna be something. Like if she just does this, this, and that, she'll be a threat." And I was kind of thinking the same thing. Now I kind of think she's been thrown into, a pool of sharks now where she has to really, really work fast now. Obviously, I think she beats Jillian in the clinch. She punches better on the inside. Yeah, she had a good right hand in that Jessica Panay fight. She was cracking Jessica Panay with some good right hands. And she did hit Manon with a few good shots when she would get inside. I think she's more committed to punches too. So, yeah, I think an inside fight would favor Tabitha Ricci. And again, Jillian still has to get to that point where she's like comfortable, connecting in the range. You got to be in that vicinity, not just looking good with the form, but you got to start hitting. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting fight. It's one that I just can't like say one person is gonna dominate. Yeah, I think it comes down to who might have just one or two things, like you said, that inside fighting might be a big favor. And if Jillian can't get her down, and Ricci doesn't want to go to the ground, it could be a long night for her. And if the reach and the striking comes into play of Jillian, then Tabitha Ricci could face something that she's never faced before. Yes, Stamina, what's up? Stamina said Stamina just came in the building, didn't he? He said, there's some piping hot takes. Oh yeah, it's piping hot tonight, man. I didn't expect it to be too hot since it was a Sunday, but well, it usually is on a Sunday, right? Because it's still a night off, right? Richard said he thinks you think Natalia Silva's getting an undeserved push? Nah, I don't think she's getting no undeserved push. I mean, the girl, she won a regional title. She's been out for a while in between that pandemic time. She won a flyweight belt. She's fought 3 unranked fighters. Like I always say, if you fight and beat 3 unranked fighters, you get you a top 15. So I don't think she's getting an undeserved push. Like undeserved, at the time was when they were overhyping fighters like Macy before they were ready. Macy Barber wasn't ready for a certain level of fighters. They were pushing her too hard. They were trying to get that youngest champion narrative off, But I think Natalia Silva is working. That girl is getting the push that she deserves. All right, Ricci's more athletic, better footwork, better looking striking, and without wrestling success, I suspect Robertson's weight cut conditioning will show. Ooh. Yeah, I think athleticism, yeah, I think that is Ricci. Better looking striking. When I'm looking at some footage and commitment, you know the commitment is there to her striking. So yeah, I would say like, yeah, Ricci's striking is better looking. How does Jillian react to some of those punches? Jillian's got a pretty decent chin, I think, for the most part. She hasn't been stopped since the other fight with what is her name? Macy Barber again. Yeah. So we'll see. Jaxel, what's up, man? Jaxel's been. He said, "Hey, it's been a minute. It has been a minute, man. Where you been? What's going on? I hope you've been keeping up with the fight game. I mean, I know everybody been busy. I've been busy. It's been a while since I've done a Sunday time stream, right? So hope you've been good, man. Any fights, Jaxel? You want some thoughts on? Jackson Rivera in the building. Any fights you want to talk about? What's your thoughts on some fights, man, that caught your eyes recently, man? It's been a while since we seen you in the building, man. Oh, you said work and school is crazy. Oh yeah, I know that combination, man. Well, I used to. It's just work now, but yeah, work and school at the same time. I remember doing Sunday through 7 days a week, man. I remember doing 7 days a week with a a combined of both. Jackson said, I can't wait to see the Jillian fight. All right. Yeah, we just talking about that. It's gonna be interesting, man. Like, I want to see Jillian get better in the striking. And I want to see Ricci look like a beast in there now. I want to see her use that physical strength. Like, she's so low to the ground, and I want to see that power in the right hand, man. Yeah, because that fight's this weekend, Jack. So then you got Ebos and Barber. Oh, yeah. Bannon got signed. He said he had a good feeling all the way. Yeah, Shauna Bannon is taking on Bruna Brazil, which if Bruna Brazil had won her last fight in dominant fashion, I'd say she has a chance. But now this is kind of even playing field. Bruna Brazil got to prove herself. So Bruna Brazil's going in there with the brawler, scrappy warrior. Shauna Bannon, she hadn't got too many finishes, but yeah, she'll come in there and fight. Girl put on a lot of pressure, and she can take you down. And with Bruna Brazil being a stand-up fighter, if she gets taken down and put on her back against, a kind of a thick, strong strawweight like Bannon, that'd be a problem, man. Yeah, Shauna Bannon got signed, got a lot of new bantamweights. They're trying to put a lot of stuff together for him. What else? Casey O'Neill and Viviane Araujo. Let's talk a little bit about this fight, man. What do you think, man? Look, this one is a must for. Oh, hold on 1 second here. Zamas and Natalia will fight for the title, no doubt, but becoming champion not during Queen Grasso's reign. Watch. Dang, he said not during her reign. But when they do fight, just know it's going to be a good fight. See, I'm not jumping ahead like that. Like, Grasso, well-earned title. 5-fight win streak. Worked it. Proved me wrong. Put all them elements together. Grasso's earned hers. Natalia's 3 in a row, unranked. I think she can win this Lee fight, but I need to see what she looks like. That's why I want to see this fight, because it's a test for her. I think she can win, but it's no guarantee she will, right? That's why I want to see this fight, because it's the best test matchup for Natalia Silva. She's fighting somebody that's a little bit faster, more well-rounded than the other girls. So we got to see that. So I'm not even talking about Silva taking on a belt yet. Not yet. I think she'll be a top 5 pretty soon, though, but I'm not going to say she's ready to fight for the belt yet. All right, Jackson said he's got Barber. Yeah, I got Barber too. Got Robertson. I'm kind of leaning towards Robertson. Bannon in Brazil. Not sure on that one yet. Casey and Araujo. I can see Casey winning the fight, but I got Natalia Silva. I got Natalia Silva doing that fight. Vivian Araujo, man. Okay, Lolita says Suarez versus Verna. I got Suarez. Ivan says Suarez by decision. Her strength is the difference. Pretty much, yeah. I think Suarez just has too much strength, but I'm hoping that we get to see a little striking element from Suarez. Because I think Verna's going to use some striking too. Verna's going to be in there using some striking, and that might be the element that makes the fight a little bit more competitive and interesting. Okay? That might be it. Darby, what's up? He said, Darby, what's going on? He said, this fight is a must win for Casey and Araujo. The loser's going to lose all height. You know what, Darby? As much as I love watching the Araujo fight, I think the height for her has already kind of died down for her because you got so many other styles now and 3 or 4 other girls now that have been looking much, much sharper. You know, when it comes down to having everything that's needed, right? So I think Araujo is just kind of fighting for her place in the rankings right now. You know, Casey, yeah, she's in that must win now for all height because Jennifer Maia kind of proved what I know most of us that picked Jennifer Maia knew was going to happen. You know, like Jennifer Maia is going to show you that, okay, this is what you need to fight at a high level. You need defense, better striking, better boxing, some type of physical strength element in there, you know. So she has another chance to prove that against Araujo in this fight. But yeah, Araujo, I think at this point, you know, before she can even get any height back, she's gonna have to beat quite a number of prospects, you know, to get back into a higher spot, go on a nice little win streak to erase some of the things that happened in the past. Basically, she got to improve as a fighter. She's got to make some changes. Really, because when we saw that Ebos and Grasso fight, oh man, those were the two that really put the height. Well, even the Chikagan fight did. When I saw that lack of adjustments in the Chikagan fight with Araujo and that once again kind of a gassing out moment, I was like, oh man, come on, Araujo. You said Barber, you said Ebos last week. I did. I've been saying Barber for a while. Unless you were talking to Jackson, because I've been thinking Barber for a while, but I'm not 100%. I'm gonna do my full pick later this week, but I've been saying, even over on BJ's channel, I said a few times, I said Barber, but nothing set in stone. Nothing set in stone yet for me. Yeah, I've said Barber quite a number of the times just because of that. I think that striking element is going to be the neutralizer. Jackson said also Bleda should take a year off or focus only on striking. She's only 21. Yeah, I think she should take some time off. A year? I don't know if they'll let her do a year. I really don't know if they'll let her do a year, but I think maybe like a good 6-7 months off of just a lot of work in striking. I think that would be good for her. You know, that would do her wonders because some of these other girls are going to be trouble for her. So, you know, if she take a good 7 months, 6-7 months, that would do some wonders for her. I honestly think Bleda would do very well at 135. I was kind of thinking that when I was watching the fight, man, when it got into that third round and I saw her kind of weak, how she got kind of weak. I was kind of thinking, man, like, I wonder if this is the weight, because she seems to be getting like weaker in this round and she looks like her chin won't hold up. So I was kind of thinking that same thing, man. She might need to do bantamweight because she is 5'9". You know, she's tall and long. I mean, maybe she can make this weight a few more times, but we'll see, man. Like, because on her way to the top, there's going to be a lot of rough weight cuts if it is that. So we'll see, man. Like, she does got the frame and the height for frame height. She's a wrestler, grappler. She has those basic elements that's going to help her at 135. But yeah, we'll see, man. Like, at her age, she could probably make that weight a few more times, and probably get somewhere. But when she gets to like a certain age, yeah, 135 is probably going to be her ideal weight. Hold on. We're just kind of looking here at some. Let me look at some past fights here. Ooh, had a yawn. Who else we got? Yeah, I talked about Casey. Yeah, Casey and Araujo. Yeah, that is that fight, man. That is that fight that needs to be where they put it all on the line at the same time, show something different. So we'll see. Jackson says, I love Aaron at 135. 135 is dead of height because everyone lost to Nunes. We need to find someone that didn't lose to Nunes. Yeah, I was talking about that too, man. Like, I think Aaron should stay at 125 all the way until she gets her fight. I think it's time for Aaron, to just, this is Aaron's time at 125. Go ahead and get it in. Go ahead and put the work in. Try for a belt here, and then go to 135 maybe. I don't want to see her mess up that momentum. But yeah, I know what you mean, Jackson. Like, bantamweight needs some fresh fighters. They just signed like 5 or 6. They just signed like 5 or 6 of them. So that's important. That's definitely an important part of why 135, what 135 needs right now. They definitely need some hype going on. All right. Oh, man. So, yeah, man, Suarez, I know somebody brought this up because I was going to talk about this anyways. But, yeah, Tatiana Suarez, she actually thinks that Lemos has a good chance against Whaley. I might do a video on it and talk about it a little bit. But the reason I want to bring that up is because I think that, yeah, man, that just shows you like how dangerous Lemos can be in this fight and how competitive this fight can be. I give Whaley a lot of credit for her growth and what she's doing. But I think that, Lemos, she's got a lot of just subtle changes she's making in her game, that are going to be effective when you take on a style like Whaley. Like, Lemos has a lot of good things about her. That's what I say. Even, I've been saying this, like, even when people are just saying things to hate on Whaley, like, I'm just being honest. Like, I've always said Lemos had a style that would give Whaley trouble. And I can say that without hating on a fighter. I don't say it just out of hate for another fighter. Like, I truly believe Lemos has a style that can give her the victory here. All right. I can say that, without saying, oh, I don't like Whaley, so I'm going to pick Lemos. No, I truly have been following Lemos that long. And y'all know over here, I've been saying Lemos is going to be that one to challenge for the belt one day. Win or lose on her way up, she going to get her shot. And guess what? She got her shot. I know there was some rough fights along the way, like an Angela Hill fight, Andrade, but she bounced back, got some solid wins. And with those wins and even with those losses, you get a chance to improve as a fighter. You get to find out what you need to do right and what you need to do wrong. What you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, where you need to improve. And you see it. You see those changes in every fight she's been having since then. And I think going into a fight with Whaley, you're going to see Lemos rise to the occasion here. She knows, even at her age, she knows that it's time to get in there. It's time that we put it all on the line. Right? because yeah, age plays a factor in certain situations. You've been around a while, there's wear and tear, but she's also gained a lot of experience through the years. I think low key, a fighter like Whaley might not be ready for. Even like just the jiu-jitsu on the ground. Like she has abilities to set traps. Like say if Whaley wants to go to the ground and outstrength her, Lemos has that slick jiu-jitsu that can find those reckless openings. She's got more strength on the ground than Carla. So I think that's going to be a big advantage for her. Then just looking at the striking element, it's going to come down to who's tighter on the feet, who's tighter, who's reckless. If Lemos finds her rhythm with the jab and the right hand and not just committed to home run swings, a well-timed jab on a fighter that can, try to blitz in. Hey, Lemos got it, man. She's got that power. That power is real. That power is real. That's why I give fighters like Angela Hill credit, because she took one of her best kicks, but she also was durable. Like she also was able to just like keep at bay and offset. And that's what you need to do to beat Lemos. You have to have that footwork to offset where they can't land a clean shot and make them wait. And sometimes if you get antsy in there, you just want to bomb back so fast. That's what she looks for. So Whaley's got to slow it down and not be reckless in there. So Suarez said, look, she said this about Lemos. I've been a huge fan. She's really dynamic. She hits really hard, and I'm very impressed by her. So I think she can get the job done. I know that Whaley can hit hard too. So I think it'll be a good fight, but I just think that Lemos can do it. She's good all over. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, you got to respect that pick. I mean, like she said, she says, I think she can do it, because she knows there's always an element of the person not. I mean, it's one for somebody to just say, oh, Whaley has no chance. Lemos has got it. Lemos going to win for sure. But no, there's still room that's open. She just has her pick, but it's still telling you that this is a close fight. It's still telling you right here it's a close fight. She can do it, meaning she has the abilities that can get her the victory, right? So yeah, I think it's going to be good. That's why I wanted this fight. If I can't predict it, that means it's going to be a good fight. Jackson said, I think Pena versus Pennington for the vacant belt. I hope Pena wins. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's going to be the next fight. That's probably going to be the next fight, y'all. If Pena wins, oh boy. I give Pena credit, man. Or she going to be talking, man. Her talking is what keeps the division alive, right? She's about the last bit that keeps the division alive, man. Darby said Lemos fights with the confidence of someone who thinks they're unstoppable. She knows she's got skills. Yeah, man. Like her pacing, I think, just needs to be able to switch it up a little bit. With the way she throws her punches. There has to be like a bang. There has to be that like tap, tap, punch. Tap, tap, hard shot. It can't all just be swinging for the fences. Sometimes she'll swing that right, left hook for the fences. She needs to like pity pat a little to mask the power, and then boom, come with the hard shot. Like tap Whaley's shoulder a little bit, tap her calf kick inside. Maybe drop the hand a little bit just to kind of invite Whaley, and then boom, come over the top with the right hand. Shotgun jab every now and then, but you have to kind of set the power up, not intense power, not intensity on each shot, But she can walk you down too, but I think that would be dangerous to walk Whaley down, trying to walk her down. That'll set you up for like a takedown. Yeah, Lolita says Suarez picked Lemos. Yeah, she did. Henderson said Lemos has been with the same coaches and does what she did to get her dance. He says on fire and coaches going more high profile. J Ball said Whaley would turn into a wrestler, rest assured. Yeah, when you tell that power comes into play, Lipsky's power, when it used to come into play, it turned them fighters into wrestlers, boy. Hold on. Lolita said it's better to tap than go to sleep and potentially suffer consequences of lack of oxygen to the brain. Hey, I can't argue with that. I mean, tapping is not, to me, tapping is not quitting. It's basically saying the position is locked in and that's it, right? It's not saying I quit. It's saying my neck is locked. And I still have the consciousness to say, okay, there's no way out of this. But just sitting there letting somebody squeeze you and squeeze you and squeeze you till your brain goes and you pass out, there's no moral victories in there. So to tap out is not quitting to me. That's just avoiding further injury when you already been checkmated. You know what I mean? Like when you get checkmated, that's it. You just have the consciousness to say, okay, I'm checkmate. Put the ego aside and just take the tap, right? Tari said we seen Whaley get finished and Lamos can crack. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like we seen her finish. Lamos has been finished in her career. That's what makes like this fight so interesting. They both faced humility before. They both faced humility before, and they both know like how important it is to be on their toes against each other. They're dangerous. They both said it's a very winnable fight for Lemos, but if Lemos doesn't work a takedown and get ups, that'll be it. I think Lemos can definitely walk Whaley down. I think the walking down element will come into play if she can stuff enough takedowns. Like, I don't think it's a good approach right off top. Like, trying to walk Whaley down be dangerous first couple rounds, because if you don't like get some type of respect, then you can't walk her down. Like, to me, walking her down, that would be like the icing on the cake, going into the cherry on top. Once you maybe like caught her a few times, shut her takedowns a few takedown attempts down a number of times, then you can start putting that pressure on her. The way Joanna did, you know what I mean? Like the way her and Joanna met in the middle. Like Joanna had a certain level of respect gained from Whaley, where there wasn't really many takedown attempts there. Like she drew her into like that type of fight where if Whaley and Lemos go at it like Joanna, oh, that fight is gonna be over. Lemos wins the fight if it turns into like that type of back and forth action, and it won't go 5. It won't go 5. Running Ring said we seen Lemos get finished, and we seen likes Angela Hill beat. Yeah. That's what I said. We see her get finished, but yeah, Angela Hill didn't beat her. Yeah. Mastermind, what's up? He said WMMA fans are the most toxic. Look at all the Mastermind, what's up, man? That's why we need Mastermind to bring some logic back. You know what I mean? Like we need some logical, reasonable comments from people like Mastermind. I mean, Mastermind, like his pick for Grasso and his reasons on why, it was just like, I can't argue with this guy, man. Like, he had it. He had it on point. And he picked Grasso not because he hated Valentina. He picked Grasso because he had some legit reasons to back it all up. Okay. Lolita said, have you seen Lamos's legs lately? Oh yeah. I've always noticed her legs. I mean, you can't not notice them. I mean, because those are a big part of her game, and like that's where a lot of her power generates from. Like I've been noticing them since, forever. Like that's one of her standouts. Like her legs are power. She's got power. Robot Chicken said Whaley would headline a pay-per-view before the Bullet. Let's get that clear too. Yeah, she would. Yeah, Whaley's got the star power to headline. I mean, unfortunately, the Bullet hasn't been able to get one yet, but Yeah, those quads, man. Those quads. I mean, yeah. I seen her doing some squats one time. I was like, yeah, she knows where her power is coming from. Mm. Oh boy. Yeah, man. Suarez, I mean, she got her fight coming up with Verna. That's a fight to look forward to. I'm trying to think, man, though, like, believe me, Ebos and Barber, that's going to be a good fight, man. Like, if Ebos's chin holds up and she takes this fight to the ground, she could put Barber on her back. But, man, something just telling me Barber might get this victory. Barber's on a nice win streak right now, too, man. J Ball says that's a hard fight for Suarez, man. It is, man. I don't know if you were in here just a minute ago, J Ball, but like I was telling them, I think Suarez is going to have to deal with that added element of Verna striking. Like that's going to be the adjustment Suarez is going to have to get by. Like purely when it comes to wrestling and the inside, I'm gonna favor Suarez, but if she doesn't get on the inside early and Verna wants to strike a little bit, you're going to see Verna's jab at work. You're going to see her bouncing on the balls of her feet a little bit like she's been doing. And that right hand's going to come into play in this fight. Like those are the two things I really seen developing in Verna over the past few years is her entry and in her stance. Was three things: her entry and her stance, but also that right hand that she sets up too. So it's not going to be an easy fight. It's a must happen fight. That's why I was one I called too. I was like, when Verna beat Marina, I said, okay, this is the fight for Tatiana next. Tatiana needs to take this fight. Let me see. Henderson said, tell me something. Who is smarter, Zhang Weili or Lemos? It's clear Lemos. He said Lemos has better coaching and just better overall. Zhang is just posting about her coaches. She ain't about that life. You really think she ain't about that life? I mean, that's several questions there. I mean, being smart, I think putting the coaches aside, I mean, that's a separate question in itself, like who has a better team. But I think when it comes down to who's the smarter fighter, who's the smarter fighter? It really comes down to who's soaking in what, who knows how to apply without having being told what to do. It comes down to a number of things when you say who like just like a smarter fighter, like who has a better IQ, who makes the better choices, like in and out the cage, who's making the right changes to be a better fighter, who's not trying to do a whole 180, who can just like kind of build off of who they are, subtle changes. J Ball said, not only does Verna have better striking, but her sweeps from bottom to get on top and her leg attacks from bottom is pretty sneaky. If Tatiana can't break Verna, then she would play it safe. She should play it really safe on top. That's a good point. That's something right there, man. Yeah. I wonder who cancels whose strength out. That's the thing I'm really curious about, man. Like who's gonna cancel who out here? I'm ready to see Tatiana striking at this level now, like working with her boyfriend Patchy Mix and how just making them improvements. I'm ready to see how it looks at strawweight. I'm ready to see how she looks at strawweight too. This is her first fight at strawweight in years. Everybody knows she came back at 125. Everybody knows she had to come back at 125, but now here we are, 115 after almost 4 years ago. 4 years since she's been strawweight. Barber is on a win streak because the judges always got her back. I'm taking Ebos because she has more skills. As long as she sticks to the game plan, she wins. Yeah, she definitely had the judges in that Miranda fight. I think for sure in that fight. I think Whaley has better fight IQ than Lemos, if I'm totally being honest. Yeah, okay. So I would say Lemos has natural advantages, but she's not smarter. Yeah, the one thing, like I'm saying, like with Lemos, that cost her a couple of knockouts is like her ability to slow the pace down, and not depend solely on power. Like you do see Whaley throw at different tempos. You will see her throw at a different tempo and different intensity every now and then. But sometimes Whaley will get too caught up and let Lemos get too caught up in throwing too many heavy punches. Mastermind said I'm picking Whaley to beat Lemos by TKO submission round 3. Uh-oh. Mastermind done predicted the future again. I ain't betting on this fight. I tell you that for sure. Like this is one I ain't betting on. I ain't messing with this fight. Mar said Patchy looks improved in the striking ring, and now it's Tatiana's time to show it. Yeah, he has. So let's see if it has rubbed off on her. Ivan said he thinks Whaley gets a late stoppage, very late. I'm kind of hoping for a 5-round fight though, man. I want to see a good fight. I want to see a good 5-round fight. Marcus Bell, what's up, man? I ain't seen Marcus in a minute. Feels like it's been a while. In the chat, I mean. Marcus said, Marcus always be coming with some facts. He said one thing for Lemos is in a 5-round fight. If it goes 5 rounds, Lemos will have to keep that cardio in check. Exactly. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, she cannot throw with bad intentions on every single freaking shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be a slow pace at every now and then. The power has got to be masked. Who knows? Like I said, when Whaley and Joanna were going at it, Joanna hit her with some big shots that she saw coming right on the jaw. She took them well. But the ones you don't see coming will knock you out cold. And Lemos has the ability to knock her out cold, but they have to be set up. Now, if they just go brawling one-on-one, toe-to-toe, might hurt her, might not. Whaley's heart might keep her in it. But what it comes down to is masking that power. Lemos' biggest gripe is that she fights the same rhythm for the entire fight. You said it perfect. She never switches the tempo. No, like she won't switch the tempo. Like early in her career, against the other girls like Ruiz, Livina Rasuza, she knocked them girls out easy because, they couldn't take that power. They could not take that power. But as you move on, girls will take that power away with footwork. Angela Hill. The longer the fight goes, it's going to favor that person that's got footwork and cardio. If Whaley's footwork and her cardio is on point and she pushes that pace high, that's why I said this fight here. Lemos got to do what I said Aldana does. She's got to get an early start. Being a little bit older, you're the one with power. You got to get the fighter's respect. You got to get the early lead. get the early lead, look for the early finish. You know, Mars said Whaley and Lamos both have that ability to catch each other at hardest hitters in weight class. Right. They both have that ability. They hit hard, man. They both got that type of power. Girls are strong. Big Soldier, what's up? And he said Lamos throws haymakers. She do, man. Sometimes she get wild with it. She got a good straight right hand, but there have been times where she'll just let it go, and it's a little too much. Like the straight right hand was on point in some of them early fights. That's why I said, like, as you get higher in the level, you need to start evolving with it. J Ball said Hennessy talking out your rear now because Whaley does not have bad cardio. Yeah, Whaley's already been 5 rounds, so I mean, cardio has been proven. If you want to see suspect cardio, you got to look at fighters like Araujo, Teresa Bleda right now. Those are the fighters that have suspect cardio. Good cardio, you be going 5 rounds. Yeah, Whaley's got cardio's pretty good, man. Cardio's got to be good. I mean, constantly moving, getting up. Cardio's good, man. Oh yeah, obviously I'm seeing that they made Loopy and Sam for the September 16th card. Yeah, I saw that. Man, that's gonna be a good fight. They both have striking and wrestling elements, man. Sam is gonna have to get out. She'll have to like take a step out of the box for this one, man. It's gonna be an uncomfortable fight, man, because I think Sam can wrestle, but Loopy can wrestle too, and she's physically strong. I need straight punches. Sam, straight punches in this type of fight. Straight punches. Don't stand in front of her. The Cody kind of made that mistake of standing in front. Let him go. Don't wait. You got to let him go. Oh, man. Big Soldier said he got Whaley over Grasso pound for pound. Oh, man. I stretch. As I don't see cardio being a big factor for this matchup. They both have pushed the pace. Mind and power from each side. It will be about distance management, accuracy. Yeah, that's some big key, man. Accuracy. Big key for this fight is accuracy, especially for Lemos. Like, if she's not accurate early, she's not going to get that respect that she needs. Distance management for both of them, to keep away from takedowns for Lemos. And for Lemos, if Whaley wants to change the pace and wrestle, distance management for Whaley to stay away from getting that chin caught. But yeah, I think when it comes down to high pace, Whaley's cardio is not questionable though. Pound for pound, Whaley. Stamina said Whaley has a better resume than Lex has of right now. At least. Yeah, she's been in the mix with the Sharks for a while. Ooh, Big Soul said Grasso had the easiest route to 125, the title to the title, honestly. I cannot argue that. I think her road was a little bit harder. No. I think Manone's road was a little bit harder than Grasso's, honestly, because Manone had to fight Chikagan. What is her name? Jennifer Maya. And Mara Buena Silva was a tougher fighter to me than Jin Kim. Jennifer Maya was a tougher fighter than JoJo. Caitlin Chikagan was a tougher fighter than Macy Barber. The one fight I give a pass because it was a late replacement because Marina Moreau pulled out was what is her name again? Tabitha Ricci. Yeah, Tabitha Ricci, I we can't give full credit for that. Victoria Leonardo, I do, because some people thought Victoria Leonardo was going to beat Manon at the time. So that was a debut. That was good. The second fight, though, wasn't her fault because Marina Moreau pulled out. But from there, MBS, Chikagan, and Maya, those are some tough fighters. Not talking Grasso down, but I'm just saying Grasso did take JoJo. JoJo wasn't that hard at that point. But Manon would have had that title shot. She just torn a ligament on that way up. So Grasso kind of got it by default. So it wasn't really Grasso's fault on that manner when you think about it. It wasn't her fault there. It's like Grasso was offered the shot because Manon was injured. So she got it because she's out default. She kind of had no choice. They put her in that position to take it. So she had to take it. I mean, literally, she wanted one more fight too, right? Dan Big Soul said JoJo and Viviana both washed. JoJo was down there now, man. Like, big JoJo fan for years, but yeah, I don't think she'll never be in that top 10 anymore, man. But Araujo is she's on that way, man. She's gotta do something. Mastermind said, does Rose come back at 125? I don't know, man. Rose has been working on her wrestling. She's been kind of dieseling up a little bit too. She might take a shot at 125. Who knows, man? But like, I doubt it. But I could see it because she's working on that wrestling element too. Like, she got a wrestling coach now. She's been doing the ADCC Open now. I don't know if she's doing that to prepare for like a Tatiana Suarez. What's she could come back at 125, but she's doing a lot of different things, to work on her physicality and physical type of work. But that could just be for her comeback at strawweight. Oh, I appreciate that. Darby with the 10 spot. Appreciate you, man. He said, who had the worst performance ever in a UFC title fight, Aldana or Carmouche? And does Aldana at 35 ever get another shot? Who had the worst performance? Dang. I kind of have to go back and watch that Carmouche fight because I about fell asleep on that one, man. So that could be considered worse. At least Aldana did land a couple of shots. I think Aldana's was more disappointing because of that fact. I think Carmouche had the worst. I think Carmouche had the worst because at least Aldana did kind of move Amanda with one of her punches, and she did land a few shots, and the fight was good. Even though she lost every round, the fight was still good. Like, it was an excellent clinic by Amanda. I watched that fight again. Like, I mean, if I was training somebody, I would have them watch that fight on how to strike like an MMA fighter. That fight did have that good element to it. Like, if I was teaching somebody now, I'd say, watch Amanda on how she dismantles, somebody coming forward that wants to just be a boxer. I can take away from that fight. The Valentina Carmouche fight, Carmouche was just kind of like overly respectful. You can't really teach anybody with that fight. She was just overly respectful. She was no threat at all. I was still thinking that Aldana had a moment to do something in the fight. I thought she had a moment to do something. There was always an element where I thought Aldana was going to come out that shell and land something, but it never happened. But either way, it wasn't her. It wasn't the worst. Carmouche fight was worse. Does Aldana at 35 get another title shot? With the way the division is looking, I think anything is possible. But unlike Rocky, I don't see her going on a 5-fight win streak. unlike Rocky, I don't see her going on a 5-fight win streak. I think Rocky's a little bit more well-rounded than she is to gain like a good solid 3 together. Aldana, I don't know if she'll put another solid 3 together, because I think Hollywood beat her again. Pena's kind of show that gutsiness that might overwhelm her. So I don't, as much as I hate to say, I don't think she will get another title shot when you really break it down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Darby. Yeah, Carmouche's performance was so bad she got cut. Right, that's how bad it was. Her performance was that bad that she got cut, man. Sink said it was a disappointment. Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, Aldana's performance was disappointing, but Carmouche's was like bad. Big Soldier said I can't see Alexa beating Aaron Santos. I don't see her beating either one of them. No. Marcus Bell has said Carmouche as well. Jackson said Manon would just shrug her off. Hold on. James said, combo, since I'm a troll, answer this for me, please. Is there a single win on Whaley's resume that is better than the Bullet? Okay, is there a single win on Whaley's resume that is better than the Bullet's win on Grasso's resume? Let's see. Grasso's win over Bullet, that's a big one, man. That is a big win now. Because Whaley's resume, she's got some good wins. You know, she's beat Andrade. She beat Andrade, you know, in very quick fashion. For where Andrade was at the point, too. And beating Joanna in a great fight. But it was back and forth. It was very tight. Grasso beat Valentina, who was on a 7 title defense reign. I mean, however y'all want to look at it, you know, however you want to look at that, however I put it out there. I mean, when it comes down to like actual, you know, when you put like the names, when you look at the names and say, okay, in the fashion and how you beat a fighter, that is part of it. I mean, like, you got to really kind of think of it, man. It's like the Joanna fight, great fight, man. Like, it was a great fight. It's one of the best fights, and that was contributed by both of them. You know, that was a contribution from both of them, going back and forth, have the guts. But then she did beat Joanna in the second fight in a much more quicker fashion, and she beat a 2-time champion in Carla. Carla was on a good win streak too. So I mean, yeah, you know, Carla was on a nice win streak too, man. Because you want to really look at it, like Carla. Let me look at it like this. All right, now we really gonna get into something here. Grasso beating the Bullet. That's big because she was a 7 title defense, 7 title defenses, right? But could they really stand up to her? Then you look at Whaley beating Carla, who was a 2-time champion. Look at everybody who Carla beat, right? So I'm just looking at it from both sides. However y'all want to argue about it, I'm gonna put Carla's name in there too. As much as people hate Carla, Carla may have not defended the belt that many times, but look at all the people that Carla beat to get there. Like, Carla was on a win streak too. Carla was on like a 6-fight win streak too before she ran into Whaley. So Grasso beat somebody that ain't been beat in a while. And then Whaley, I mean, look at the names that Carla beat too. Verna, Grasso. So Whaley beat somebody that beat Grasso. And she beat Rose, Marina, Yan Janan. I'm just saying, man. I just want y'all to look at it in different ways, like, before you try to say who is better. Like, styles make fights. Styles are making fights right now, and it just depends on how you look at certain things here. Like, think about it though. I'm just saying, like, Whaley beat Carla, Carla beat Grasso. So, you know, I don't know. I just like to stir some things up and make people think. James said, to even debate my question is ridiculous. There's not even a single win on any of these girls' resumes that is better than Grasso beating Bullet. Just the girls they named, or just any of these girls? You talking about like Whaley in them? Because I mean, if you're talking about Nunes, I mean, you're not talking about Nunes. Like, she's excluded, right? Better than Shevchenko, no, bit. Joanna is comparable. Sorry, but Val does not want no smoke with Whaley. She know how it would end up. I pick Whaley all day. Dang. Mastermind picking Whaley over Valentina. And he got the inside track on something. So, I mean, I'm not. He knows something I don't. The chat likes communism. Dang, man. Does the chat like communism? What's going on, man? What y'all talking about? James said, I'm just desperately trying to reach for a reason. Basically, I'm just saying I don't really care about your argument. I don't care what you argue about, James. I mean, that's all y'all doing. I'm here to talk my topics. So I just like to entertain you and just kind of throw you off a little bit. But really, when it comes down to it, I really don't give about what you're talking about, because you basically you just beating a dead horse and you going in a circle. Just like when you talk that goat talk, I'm already going to tell you that I don't do the goat talk. So that ain't even a topic of discussion. So that's just what I think of your topic right now, James. My topic of discussion of these fighters on the screen. I said, how's that sound? Big Soldier said Whaley trains at Tiger. Valentina is a queen over there. Levels. Uh oh. I mean, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I stretch my back out here. So what we got going on, man? This weekend coming up, we got Macy, Ebos, Ricci, and Robertson. That's about it. That's about it when it comes down to the women. Oh man, we got that Combate card on right now too, so I gotta check that out. So I'm about to get off here in a minute. Well, back to another 2-hour show. It's been a while since we did a 2-hour show. Oh yeah, like 20 something people. Make sure you hit that like button, man. Enjoy y'all's conversation. Some of y'all be just talking. As I'm I rate Carla's win pretty high. I rate the Carla win pretty high. For Wei Lee, right? I gotta rate it high, man. Why not? I mean, the girl's a 2-time champion. And I mean, look at the fighters that she's beat. If a fighter can't go in there and dominate Carla, that says something about a lot of the fighters that can't beat her, right? If Carla's so limited, why has she beat 6 fighters in a row? If Carla's so limited, why couldn't even Grasso stop her like Joanna did? Why has nobody else just like finished her except Whaley, Suarez, and Joanna? Why ain't these other girls ever finished Carla? You said everyone beats Carla though. Everybody gonna beat Carla? Nobody does. I mean, not everybody does. The girl just beat 6 people in a row. Mastermind said Macy beats Ebos by unanimous decision. See, Darby thinks Ebos will win. I'm leaning towards Macy, but I'm still not 100%. Henderson said Carla's not good. Everybody knows that. Well, I guess Marina Rodriguez ain't good. I guess Jana is not good. I guess Waterson's not good. I guess Rose Namajunas is not good, huh? Since Rose lost to her twice, Rose is not good, huh? James said, "Is Jasmine versus O'Neal? Do you think that's a good fight?" I think it's a good fight. I think it's just a good, entertaining fight because of how they're built and how they like to fight. I think that's a good fight. Good, entertaining fight. And this is honesty right here. Like I think Marcus said it best. Carla is good. I just don't like her fighting style. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, why can't other people say that? Like, I'm not really a fan of her style, but for the people that she whooped in a row, what does that tell you about the people that she beat? Even Rose couldn't beat her 2 times, right? You don't like her style, but look what she's done. If she was that bad, she should have been cut a long time ago, right? I mean, that's the best way to put it. Is this how y'all say, look, Carla's good, just don't like her fighting style, right? That's all you got to say. Like, don't mix up yet the fact that you dislike the fighter with her accomplishments. 2-time champion, and to get there, she was on a good 5-fight win streak, right? That's just what it is, man. Yeah, Big Soldier said Carla was big motivated. Yeah, but she was motivated. She just got out overpowered. Ooh, Big Soldier said Carla's better than Pena pound for pound. Hot take. I mean, that's not even a controversial take. I can agree with that. Again, 2-time champion and 5 wins in a row against your top 10 fighters, right? Top 15 fighters. Again, you might not like her style. Pena's more entertaining, but Carla's better pound for pound. No, I believe that. That's not a trolling comment. You know me. I believe that. Without having to say that, I already knew that Carla is pound for pound better than Pena. Oh. Big Soldier just said, he says the hot take, boy. I mean, that's the truth. That's the truthful take. That's the truthful take. Carla pound for pound. That fight wasn't entertaining with Rose in that rematch, but hey, that fight was earned her another victory over somebody that was pound for pound in everybody's eyes, a good fighter, one of the best fighters. Henderson says Young out muscling Carla was not skillful. That was skillful. Jackson, what's up? He said, speaking of Carla, I think she should fight Dern next. I think well, she's pregnant right now. So I think in the meantime, she's pregnant in the meantime. So I think we have to kind of put her on hold. So I think that Dern and Rose would be a good fight right now. I mean, that would be interesting. Carla Dern's a good fight. Like if she wasn't pregnant, I would love to see that. But yeah. Yeah, Zhang submitted Carla was a skillful fight. I mean, even the way she had her in that reverse crucifix. Henderson said, "Explain this to me. Everyone made Carla rush into a fight with Zhang Weili, but Zhang gets to make Lemos late. What is that?" See, I'm gonna say it the same way. Like, I didn't want to rush anybody. Like Carla, Carla wanted to wait like a month or two, and people said she was scared. But to me, I was like, no, she ain't scared. Like the girl just beat Rose, and now everybody want her to jump back in, like she's not the champion. You know, same deal with this one, like Zong and Lemos. I'm like, yo, they just fought. Now everybody trying to rush them back in. Like, let's just do the regular turnaround time. You know, good 6-7 months is fine because these are championship fights. But yeah, like Carla, I was not ready for her to rush back in. I was like, yo, take your time, man. Like, take your time. Yeah, Marcus said Carla's next fight is having that baby. Exactly. No, Tisha had her baby. Tisha had her baby, Jackson. Tisha Torres just had hers, but I think Carla's still carrying. And then you got GDR had her baby, so GDR trying to come back later this year. Big Soldier said nobody passing Nunes and Valentina when it comes to records. I mean, not at this point. I don't think so, man. James said Bullet was a fraud. Nah, man, Bullet's not a fraud, man. I don't think Bullet was a fraud, man, at all. I think that, like I said, fighters were getting better. Fighters are getting more well-rounded. Fighters are evolving. And she wasn't ready for that. I think Valentina was not ready for that. I think Valentina underestimated Grasso a little bit. I don't think she's a fraud, but I believe she underestimated. She won that fight. She was winning the rounds, but underestimated because she was taking some crazy chances. And I know you believe that, James. Like, yeah, I don't think Valentina's a fraud whatsoever. Nah, but like I believe in that Grasso fight, she did underestimate her. She was talking about all those fears and things she knew, but Grasso came in there well rounded. Grasso was always behind, but Grasso never stopped trying. The thing is, Valentina's used to a lot of fighters just kind of succumb to her and they just respect her. But nah, man, like this one, Grasso was wide open. She was wide open the whole fight. No, Grasso didn't get lucky. Like Valentina was winning the fight. Believe me, I knew she was winning the fight, but Grasso was not lucky. Grasso was wide open that whole fight. Grasso's style and approach was giving Valentina a few problems. I think Tyler gave Valentina more hell on the ground and so on, but I think Grasso was always there. Like Valentina could have been on her way to get a decision, but there was something mentally about what Grasso was doing that kind of made her off her game. Big Soldier said Grasso's nightmare matchups, Aaron, Santos, and Manon. Yeah, and believe me, those fighters, they're not going to fall for what Valentina did. See, Valentina was kind of in a complacent place. People just don't like to admit that, but it's true. Like, it wasn't her fault, but she was used to fighters respecting her, over respecting her. But when it gets to a certain level in there, when they evolve, a fighter like Grasso going to catch certain moments where she's sleeping and take over. You know what crazy chances I'm talking about, James, when she kept on throwing like a lot of spinning back moves, spinning back kick, spinning back fist, and she wasn't even landing those shots. She wasn't even landing those shots. She didn't know how to go back to basics. Like it was troubling her to throw more punches around. Like we saw her doing something she never really did before, and that was like throw a lot of jabs around. It was working, but it seemed uncomfortable to her. But then she went back to trying to land as like a spinning back attack to try to knock Grasso out, and that wasn't happening. Those are the crazy chances I'm talking about. I call them crazy because if you're winning rounds already and you're doing these things that don't help, that's crazy. James said, what did Grasso do besides land a couple good shots in the first? She stayed on her. I mean, even with the footwork, she kept Valentina alert and kept Valentina irritated. That's the point. And she stuffed a lot of Valentina's takedowns. Like Valentina got her down a few times, but Valentina got some of those takedowns denied. Some of those takedowns still got denied. And she was never in complete control. Like she was winning. She was winning, but she was never in complete control of the fight like she has been in the past. Being in control of a fight was her fights with like Lauren Murphy, Liz Carmouche, fights like that. Okay. And that's what I'm talking about. See, James, you just put it right there. You didn't listen to exactly what I said. You said she did a back kick, which she always does. It wasn't even necessary. That's why I'm saying, why are you trying to do all this fancy stuff and not doing basic stuff? That's why Grasso capitalized. And when it comes down to it, she lost. She lost to somebody that studied her and did exactly what I said. And that's not trying to fight it, James. See, James, you still don't want to give Grasso credit for whooping her and winning. That's your problem. If you do, you understand what I'm talking about. You still trying to deny Grasso's elements to get her to win in the fight. Don't matter now if Valentina was winning the fight. Who's got the belt? I give Valentina credit that she was winning, but when it comes down to it, there was still certain elements in the fight that kept Valentina uneasy. And that was not luck. That was not luck at all. That win was not luck. That win was not luck. I haven't said all 4 rounds were competitive. Even the 4th could have gone either way. And if Alexa doesn't manage to tap Valentina at the end of the 4th, she takes the 4th for getting close to a finish. All right. Sink says she stuffed in the 3rd as well. James says she did lose, no problem. I do give credit. My problem is the fake narrative overblowing how the fight was going before the finish. What's the narrative before that, James? What is the narrative before that? If we're saying that Valentina was winning the fight, where's the lie there? If I say Valentina's winning the fight, but she's having to do some uncomfortable things, where's the narrative there? You can't tell me that it was 100% like in her favor at every single moment where she could do some things like she was doing and she was just going to get away with it, because the proof is no, she couldn't. Like she was off. She was winning, but it was fighting out of her comfort zone. And that's the thing with MMA, is like, that's what makes it different in boxing. It's because it's like you make certain little mistakes. Yeah, in boxing, you make one mistake, you get knocked out, right? But in MMA, you make one couple of little mistakes, you get knocked out, head kick, punch, or you get tapped out like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have room to just let it, you just don't have room to let it, things slide like that every moment. You can be in charge one moment and then boom, that's it. And Walter Bell said that the end justifies the means. A plan was plotted and it executed, right? When it came down to it, it's executed. There's no luck involved in that. They saw the moment. They knew the moment was coming and boom, they got it. So there's no narrative to how it ended. I mean, the video was out. Robot Chicken said Val is figured out by decent competition. Her run is over. Dang. Robot Chicken in the building. Yeah, Grasso, he says 2 boxing heavy upgrade is needed for future 125. Most definitely. Most definitely. Like, what worked against Valentina is not going to work against everybody else. I don't even know if it's that she put the bar too high for herself, James. It's the fact that she may have underestimated Grasso a little bit while her opponent was training hard for what she was going to bring to the table. I don't think it was that she set the bar too high, because she was doing things that she should have been doing against such a dangerous opponent. Yeah, anybody that wants to say champion, they got to stay evolving. Darby said Shevchenko made a huge mistake doing a spinning punch. Wheatman made the same mistake, spinning kick, and lost his title too. Right. Robot Chicken said, "What's good? What good contenders, Marina? How long do you think she's kept the belt? She's a good striker, not well-rounded. So who else in Marina turned down Whaley for a title eliminator?" Pierce said Alexa will win via KO this time. First round knockout. Dang. Walter Pell said, your take on Natalia Silva. I think Natalia Silva is a very promising young fighter. I think that she fights with a confidence that's going to get her to the top 10. And her fight with Andrea Lee is going to be her biggest test. But I think, unlike Andrea Lee, I think that her 3 elements, like I said a couple hours ago, I think her 3 elements are going to get her the victory. Her takedown defense, her striking, and her strength on the ground. I think Natalia Silva's got a good, exciting style, and her confidence is like really no other amongst the unranked fighters. She's in a groove when she fights. Like, she's confident, committed to her striking. She turns over nice kicks and punches. Like, she doesn't like hesitate too much. She's fluid too. So I want to see a lot of that in the Andrea Lee fight. So if she's in there with Andrea Lee, if she can do the same thing to Andrea Lee, maybe get a finish, be like one of the first to finish Andrea Lee in years, then I think that you'll see Natalia Silva get to the top 7 by the end of this year. They won't give her one more fight against a top 10. Natalia Silva versus Alexa, keep it real. Big Soldier said, keep it real. I'm not going to speak on that fight yet until I see what she looks like with Andrea Lee. I'm taking it step by step. Like, that's why I'm calling for the Andrea Lee fight first, Big Soldier. That's how I'm going to keep it real. Because we already know Grasso's already proven to be a champion. And she's on another well-rounded level right now. Natalia Silva's just beat 3 unranked fighters. So we need to see what she looks like against a fighter like Andrea Lee first. So I'm not going to rush into that yet. Jackson said, "What do you think of Russian Ronda? She got a pretty big upset over Edgar. She needs to make weight. That's all I'm gonna say. Like right now, I mean, she brings some fun, Conor McGregor type of attitude, but I want to see her make weight first before I really start to kind of gauge her." Karine Silva, she's got a fight against uh, Marina Moreau coming up, so we'll see how she looks as well on the same card. So the Silva girls are on, they're on attack right now, y'all. So let's watch out for them Silva girls. They could be the next ones in the division. Richard said, "What happens to the days when fighters have to earn their title shots?" I don't know. Fighters still earn their title shots. Robert Whitaker earned, his to get back against Izzy. Uh, um, Yair Rodriguez earns his title shot. That's going to be a good fight. Everybody knows that it's still a money thing and it's a business. So politics are going to come into play where they got to make certain people fight. Like O'Malley definitely, to me, I don't know about him being able to get a title shot, but Sterling go in there and show him something. Jackson said, "Are the Silver girls related?" I don't think so. I don't think they are. I don't think they are related. There's a lot of Nunez and Silva, so I'm guessing that they're not. But you ever look like there's some Nunez's that are spelt with a Z, and then there's some Nunez's spelt with an S, right? Just like Fernandez, there's certain Fernandez with a Z and an S, so I guess they're not related. But Silva, I don't think they are related. Nope. What else got going on? Like I said, I was just on here a little bit later because it's been a while since I did a long show. Who will be the next bantamweight champion? Be between Pena and Rocky. Between Pena and Rocky. Aaron wanted to slide in there, but it's gonna be between. Big Soul said Pena got a title shot for talking. Yeah, she did. She really did. And at the time, she deserved it. She was like number 7, and nobody else was really ready or saying anything. So she earned it. Her mouth got her there. So her talk got her there. Her talk got her there. So yeah. I don't know why I thought that was funny. James said you got news on Manon. Yeah, she's still training. She's training. She's still training, trying to get in shape. She's calling for a fight for September 2nd. She wants to fight on the Paris card. Yeah, she wants to fight on the UFC Paris card. And she wanted to fight Aaron. I mean, she still can. I mean, Gane and Spivak is the only really announced fight for that card, right? So she's looking to come back in September. Nothing 100% made yet, though. So will it be Aaron? I hope so. Matter of fact, let's look at the card right now. Yeah, nobody. It's just Gane and Spivak. Spivak. Paris, France. No other fights announced. Just the main event. Yeah, no. Jackson said, I think Manon versus Rose is a possibility. I hope not. Ooh, what if it is Tyler, though? Mastermind. So you can't wait to see Tyler Minogue. Well, it can't be Tyler because I don't think Tyler can fight outside of Brazil yet. Ooh, man, it might be Aaron. I think her and Aaron gonna be on that card. And I think the new bantamweight they signed is gonna be on this card too. What is her name? Cornoli. There's a new bantamweight they just signed to the UFC. She'll probably be on this September card. She might be on like the early prelims because she's from France. So her, Manon, they'll be on the card. Tyler can't fight in America. How she's going to fight in France? Yeah, that's why I said I don't think it's going to be her. I had to remember that. I was like, yeah, she ain't fighting anywhere. She's just waiting on Brazil card. I think so, James. So that's what sucks, man. He said if Gone is the main event, so Manon wouldn't be a 5-rounder main event. No, it won't now, unless they do like a co-main. That's 5, and we can hope they do that. We can hope that the UFC listens to Manon and her and Aaron both want a 5-round fight. That's all we can hope for at most now is a 5-round co-main event. And I believe that too, Ivan. All title eliminators should be 5 rounds. That way you have no complaints. Oh, I need the experience. I need to get my experience. Oh, I need another 5-round fight. I need another fight. No, make your title eliminators 5-round fights, just like in boxing. Most like the WBC, WA title eliminators are 12-round fights. So. But with that being said, I'm getting out of here, y'all. I just wanted to, like I said, do a long show because it's been a while since we've been on here talking 2 hours. All right. Hope everybody has a good week. I'll be back on maybe a couple of days this week. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Well, like I said, we always have some crazy conversations in here. Some of y'all be, oh boy. As long as y'all ain't cussing and saying crazy, nasty, racist stuff or anything like that, I mean, I ain't blocking nobody or timing nobody out. If y'all are just like having conversation, y'all conversing, disagreements ain't gonna get you blocked, okay? Talking out the side of your neck, cussing and racist stuff like that, that'll get you blocked. But like disagreements ain't gonna get you blocked. So Combo answered the question: when is it okay for fighters to jump the line and not earn a title shot? That's the type of matchmaking is ruining the sport. Let me think. It's never okay. It's never okay, but again, that's the business that Dana has sometimes. Like he would do that type of stuff sometimes, and like it doesn't have any place in pure combat sports. But when you make it a business and you have names that you feel like they're going to do that. But believe me, the truth will come out in performances. So that's the only thing you can look at when you're dealing with a money-making business, Richard. They don't care. They don't care about fairness in certain things, but it'll come back and bite them in the behind whenever that person loses. Until they get a grasp of it and find out that's how they lose money, that's how it's going to happen. But I'm going to argue that with you, before I get out of here. The Grasso situation happened because they needed somebody to fight. Manon torn a ligament, so they had to get Grasso. Grasso was the next best one. That's why they always have a stand-in. When number 1 can't fight, the number 2 does. If the number 2 fought, the number 3 does. If the number 3 can't fight, the number 5 or 6 does. So Grasso didn't really get a layup. She got forced in that position because Grasso actually wanted another fight before the championship fight. That's the argument I can make for that. All right. That's what it is. Pretty simple, right? Simple mathematics. Grasso was given the opportunity because Your number one contender, Manon, torn her ligament. Injury. What do? We go to the next one. Even with Whaley, okay. Andrade at 125 at the time, right? She gets the title shot against Carla. Why? Because Joanna's out for 2 years. Rose just lost the belt. Nobody wants to see a Rose versus Carla fight after they put on the stinker of a third fight. Marina wasn't in the shape for a fight yet. She had just come off her fight. Jana had just lost to Carla. That explains Zhang Weili's shot too. Zhang Weili, again, has a star power. They didn't give Marina a shot because they tried to force Marina a little earlier than she could. Now, if they would have gave Marina the right time around, yeah. Yeah, Marina was 4-0. Believe me. I argue that for, but they offered it to her at an early point to fight Wei Li. And it was like a wrong turnaround time for her because she had just come off a fight. But again, it's business. Zhang Wei Li at the time was both more popular fighter, like Big Soldier said, more marketable, but the best in shape to fight at the time. Because again, Carla, no. Andrade at 125. Carla and Rose both just fought. Joanna's been out 2 years. So you go to your next best fighter. That's Zhang Wei Li. That's championship ready. So even with both those, there's still an argument that when it comes down to it, by default, she's getting it. But now we back on track because Lemos is fully deserving of a title shot. Verna had lost to Ebos. I believe she beat Dern, but she had lost to Ebos in there. She beat Angela Hill, but she hadn't beat anybody at the top. But yeah, I'm gonna get out now. Like I said, most of those I can argue that. I can make those arguments on that, but I still understand it's a business, and it'll Dana will wind up kicking himself in the behind when he makes bad choices like that. He has in the past. Masterminds, have a good rest. I will. Good night, Darby. Take care, Robot Chickens, all y'all. Like I said, we jump on and talk again because we're going to do a whole Whaley Lamo show here in a few days. We are going to be talking about this stuff. When fights be coming up like this. Suarez too, fighting Verna. We ain't done yet. So with that being said, shout out to y'all in the chat. Common Breaker 99, I'm out. Peace.